Welcome, race fans, to the sprint at round 7 for the Barcelona Circuit de Catalunya circuit for the G2 series. My name is Webbo, here to enjoy the racing with you. 6 laps await us with free tyre choice and reverse championship grids. Let's get on with it. We've got 5 red lights. It is time to go racing. Jump starts aplenty, but it's dropped the clutch and go. Of course, from the mega car on the inside of Gubanov, but it's Kelvin the Boss who takes the pole position on the way down towards turn 1, and then it is absolutely anybody's into turn 2 for that second, third, and fourth positions. That's a fighting Monkey Games coming up the inside in the Porsche, looking absolutely amazing already. But it's Motsky finally getting some grip back on the soft tyres and screaming off in towards that second position ahead of Quicks, who's starting on the medium tyre. Very important to see as the reserve driver Risbach goes down the inside into turn 4, and a lovely overtake from the Ferrari, who gets that slight advantage off the racing starting grid on the standing start. It's Rebel with the 5-second penalty. I'm assuming that must have been a jump start potentially from Rebel. Let's maybe go back and see exactly how that one just happened for Rebel. Way into the corner potentially. There you can see we've got Pumpkin King in the moustache liveried Porsche at the back. Well, that was significant contact then from Revelit. That's what happened to him. But he's starting from the back as well. Revelit on the soft tyres, but he's going to drop to stone last, I think, on the way between turns 9 and 10. Side-by-side action once again. Now it's Apex Specs for Coach Dave down the inside. Risbach coming down the inside of Quicks, who's losing places left, right and centre thanks to being on those medium tyres, which will come good later on into this sprint. At least he hopes so. And Monkey Games is off the circuit, unfortunately. Monkey Games dropping back before Revelit's had a chance to take that penalty. Now it's another contact from the rear that triggers the issue. 2 contacts from the rear for Monkey Games, unfortunately nerfing into the barrier, and that is a full-on broken front splitter for Monkey Games. Apex not bound will come round, and then we should, from his perspective, suddenly see Revelit dropping all the way back. There he is, down to a complete standing position. Diving down the inside goes the Team Mega car of Gubanov. This time, I don't know if he was pushed or he fell into that position. Let's have a look. On the way out of turn 9, it is all kicking off because the car in front managing to get dirty tyres. He made a slight adjustment. There was a gap down the inside. He went for it, but he was hit from behind. He was hit from behind, perhaps possibly from the Braille, and then Sympathy spinning from the drivers as well. Down we go, down into the inside. Looked like it was Breo who made the initial error, and then coming around the corner, you can see a skid from both cars as they, I think Apex not found, trying to find his way through safely. Kelvin the Boss though, unbeknown to him, everything's kicking off behind him, but he's absolutely fine, and Apex Specs is completely off the circuit, racing with Risbach, who's diving to the inside, trying to get the line going through the Mickey Mouse chicane at the end of the lap. That looks like Moxley going for the move around the outside as well. It's going to be side-by-side, potentially 3 wide as they head down the start and finish straight. It is only lap 2 of the 6. This is absolutely fantastic stuff then from the G2 sprint. Exactly what you want to see from the sprint race. Drivers out of position, pushing hard, fighting for every single point, even though there are only a very few available in the course of the proceedings. Apex Specs in second, Risbach in third. Here is Motsky just ahead of Quicks, and Pumpkin King up from the back as well. No surprise to see the Porsche on the soft tyres here. He's got a half-second penalty, but he won't worry about that too much. It's a momentary blip off throttle. I think he can probably open up the gap enough as he dives down the inside into turn 4. Motsky leaving the door somewhat open, and certainly with Pumpkin King, you don't want to let that one go. As Quicks, I think, hit Motsky in the rear, and then as his momentum was slowed, gets hit from DeLucas in the back as well. Himself now has a half-second penalty. Breo in 8th and Revelit going for that move down the inside. There he goes into turn 7 through 8. That's Risbach slow. That's Risbach slow down from second position on the grid. What on earth befell Risbach? He's gone super wide into 7 as a somewhat late defence possibly from Apex Specs slows Risbach right down, and he's down and out into 9th position then from 2nd place. Absolutely anybody's guess as to what's going to happen next into the next one. Risbach trying to wrestle control here on the short run down towards turn 10. Another late braking manoeuvre. Nobody is safe into turn 10, and that's this time Breo getting back what he had before from a different driver. I hope that wasn't a little taste of revenge there from Risbach on the way into the rear of the Pro Cargo car 723 Lucas Racing, but unfortunately it looks like no one seemingly able to get the braking action that they were expecting down into turn 10. Very low grip it seems at this stage of the race. It's lap 2 finishing on 6 here for the sprint, and then they will continue down. Kelvin the boss for the Jan interior crew. He's out of the way in P1 and can't believe his luck, I think, at this point. Everybody making moves and guesswork on the way through. Risbach has a 2-second off-course penalty to pay as well, so he should probably drop off the back of this racing group. Apex was found in 10th, he's been off the circuit. Monkey Games was off the circuit as well and still has that front splitter damage. You can see it on the car, and Gubinov at the back of the grid. Let's check in with Kelvin the boss. He is currently bossing this sprint race, and that looks like an almost unassailable lead if he can hold on to the soft tyres through the course of the race. Pumpkin King in 2nd place now, so that half-second penalty he had earlier certainly didn't arrest his progress by any stretch. And Apex Specs then for Coach Dave in that 3rd place. Motsky is struggling to hold on to 4th place at the moment from the resurgent Revelit here, who is debuting at this round, I think in G2. He's an Adrian Newey driver ordinarily, so we can start to set up into our braking zones into turn 10 now. There's Quicks, DeLucas, Breo and Risbach, 2-second penalty, having just paid that off. So back to the closest battle on the grid, that is Revelit, chasing down Motsky here for 4th place overall. Revelit and Risbach starting at the back of the grid because they're reserves for G2, so therefore they don't get any championship position advantage on the sprint race. But Revelit certainly showing what he's made of here. We know he can be phenomenal in the Adrian Newey League, especially on the permanent circuits, Revelit. And so far seems to be translating that, as is Risbach, into some tremendous pace here in the G2 League. So looking for that opportunity down the inside. The door is open once again. It's a little bit late, a little bit short of the apex there. Tags the back of Motsky, but only very gently, and doesn't take racing advantage of that particular opportunity. So the rider is time waiting for a much better, much clearer chance to go down the inside or the outside for an overtake on Motsky. Both on the soft tyre. Just looking at the difference between the cars and the drivers here, rather than the tyre handling and fuel loads. Very low fuel, of course, at the start of the sprint, so make sure everybody can go absolutely at the limit from the start of the race. Car 34 is Quicks in 6th place at the moment in the alternate Vanessa Personal Transport Service livery. Looks like he actually might have had his teammate late to the race today and wasn't able to take part in the sprint. Now we've got a chance down into turn 10 here. Side by side they go. This one much cleaner from Revelit. It does tend to favour the driver on the outside, the grip on the way through turn 10. They are nose to tail here as they go through turn 11 and head towards turn 12 and 13 now. Revelit just holding on, but it'll be vulnerable down that main straight if Motsky can get a smooth exit from the pig on the Lexus on the way out of this final corner. This is on board with Motsky. Look for that chance now, that slipstream, and Revelit already moving to the middle of the track. Perhaps trying to find that opportunity. Looks like we've got some close battle going on up front as well. Let's cut to that battle before this one kicks off, and there goes Pumpkin King sliding his way through past Kelvin the boss. We'll just watch that battle again. Looks like he had a smoother run through turns 1, 2 and this is 3, and Pumpkin King was fully alive alongside there, cutting back to the racing line. He caught for Pumpkin King and getting ahead, and that is tough for Kelvin Boss to take. He had a very, very strong lead earlier on in this sprint race. It's lap 5 of the 6th, the penultimate lap underway. And King has managed to go from the back of the grid to the very front in such a short space of time. That bodes well, of course, for his race pace in feature race. Revelin in 4th, Motsky in 5th, Quicks in 6th, DeLucas and Rizback in very close proximity as we run through this penultimate lap then of the sprint race. Behind them you can just about make out the Coach Dave car. Looks like DeLucas wide but not too wide. Staying on the red and white curve with at least 2 wheels is perfectly fine. Apex not found it is behind that group, who's just made a move past Rizback. Apex not found, certainly found the Apex that time, and a little wiggle from Rizback. There, good watch again down the inside. Rizback caught off guard slightly and then finds himself with 13 cold tyres. Rizback, the soft tyres hanging on longer and better perhaps than the other drivers. Would have thought the ones that elected to start on the medium tyre. So it's just pretty much Quicks here on the medium. And I guess that's probably down to the fact that in Gizmo he was expecting to see greater tyre wear from his car. Revelit versus Apex Specs. I imagine that down to Apex Specs making more of a mistake potentially throughout that previous lap. Revelit going for the podium here and going for the overtake. Here comes Motsky to follow him through what will be an open gap on the way into turn 1. It doesn't quite work out for him. Apex Specs gives up 1 place so as not to lose 2. And Revelit screams up into the provisional podium positions here on his debut with the G2 group, and certainly showing that he's got speed in the car. We race here in SVR, and that's Motsky, I think, into Apex Specs. I wonder if there was a hint of a movement under braking here potentially. Let's have a look on the way into turn 4, or was it simply that Motsky ran out of brakes on the way in? No, I can't make an excuse there for Motsky, unfortunately. He slows to not take too much of an advantage. He lets through both Apex not found then, and DeLucas was fully alongside of Quicks, and DeLucas go through past Motsky. It is absolutely anyone's then on this final lap of the sprint race. And it looks like Apex not found just recovering well enough there. Quicks, how is he holding on the medium tyres here as the soft tyres look relatively okay. We've got DeLucas going for the move. DeLucas somehow undamaged in the Toyota, which seems very well suited at first impressions to this circuit in Catalonia. Good at the high speed turning. Quicks runs out of speed somewhat, but manages just to recover the car. Incredible stuff then, and back into the dust and the dirt. Here comes Pumpkin King. Well, that was absolutely masterful from Pumpkin King, who wins the sprint race in Catalonia. Kelvin the Boss started at the front of the grid and finishes in 2nd place with great points for him and for his team. Jan Mardenborough scoring a 2nd and 3rd place here. DeLucas in 4th, Quicks in 5th. We've got Motsky, Apex Specs, Breo with a small penalty to pay over a at the end of the race. Rizback in 9th, Monkey Games in 10th, Gubanov in 11th, and it looks like Apex not found, sadly, at the tail of our sprint field. Thanks so much for watching. We will catch you on the next race day.